Good morning. I'm Warren Hogue, IPI's Senior Advisor for External Relations, and I'm happy to welcome you to this briefing on Timor-Leste's story, securing its sovereignty over land and sea.
We think that this place is the best place to talk about peace when war happens in countries. But now we are talking about problems, and I would say this is the right place, because peace is not only the absence of war. Peace is also peace of mind. And we are going to talk about mindset. My colleague, Dr. José Ramos Horta, is very optimistic about Australia. I'm not. This is democracy. This is democracy. Different opinions. Because a former Prime Minister of UK, he said, no permanent allies, no permanent friends, but permanent interest. This is the problem. This is the mindset. This is the mindset of powerful nations when they deal with small countries like ours. Yes, we recognize, we don't deny the participation of the Australian soldiers after the 99 referendum. But it was not to save us. It was to help us to put an end to the violence committed by the militias, pro-Indonesian militias, not to save us. We did save Australia during the Second World War. We were a colony, Portuguese colony, and Portugal's policy was neutrality, and to avoid the invasion of Japan, they did bomb Darwin before coming to Timor-Leste, but they did war in our country to save Australia. Our people died. Many of our people also helped the Australian guerrillas. That is why in 1999 we could say they paid their debts. I have to correct this perception, because in Australia the political level always try to tell us, we helped you, we saved you. We say no. We say no because without our fight, without the role of the activists, the good defenders of our right, like Professor Chomsky and others, including many of you here, Australia would not go in 1999 with their troops. Why? Because in 1989, the Foreign Minister of Australia and the Foreign Minister of Indonesia signed an agreement to explore our resources, drinking a champagne, forgetting that we were fighting there, a small guerrilla army against battalions, Indonesian battalions. That was why we cannot agree with the political statements, we saved you, we are helping you. No. Sorry. While we are dying, and in Second World War it was about 70,000 Timorese dying to defend Australia. During 24 years, more than 200,000 people died. When we were suffering, they signed an agreement to share our resources. Yes, you take 50, I take 50, and I believe Gardens would say to alialatas, expedite the war, kill them, and we get the benefits. Now, in 1999, Ian Martin, huh? Yes. Ian Martin, he was there leading the UN mission to prepare our referendum. After that, I have to say that we were fighting for our independence, but we never prepared ourselves to be independent in terms of human resources, in terms of capabilities. And Australia took advantage of our lack of knowledge. Some say naivety. I don't say that. I would prefer ignorance than naivety. They took advantage of our lack of knowledge, of our impreparation, because we inherit the treaty signed with Indonesia. To avoid, because it was already done there, we could not impede. And instead of coming every 6 months to the wall begging for money to help us building our country, it was an opportunity to get money. And we agreed. We agreed to continue to. After that, I believe that many of you have heard about seized documents, the spy. Yes, sometimes we say we heard about the economic intelligence, financial intelligence, but we don't accept that using military intelligence to take advantage of economic negotiations. That was why we made the case. Well, it is all about, we are talking about maritime boundary, because we are talking about the resources there. We believe that if there is no resource at all, in 2006, we were not, I don't say forced, but we were not inclined to sign an agreement of not talking about maritime boundary for 50 years and beyond if the exploration of our resources is still ongoing. Only after nothing there, yes, we can have the maritime boundary. I repeat, a former Prime Prime Minister of the UK said, interests are permanent, allies, friends, it is. And we feel, year by year, we try to build our capacity to understand things, to understand the process, to correct. This is our, I would say, our virtue. 2-3 years we look back and said, no, we did mistake here. No, we have to correct that. And we start to understand that we were being used by a big neighbor, by a neighbor that, I would repeat, was the only Western country to recognize de jure the annexation. The annexation, not a peaceful annexation, it was a bloody annexation. Just for the resources. It is immoral for us, we should say. That is why we are not coming here to ask for your understanding if, as I said, if there is nothing there, if it is only tuna, crabs, or something else, or crocodiles. But taking in consideration that there is something there, we will not allow, if it is ours, we will not allow that a big, rich, developed country can take it for us. We got independence with the help of many of you. But we didn't achieve yet our full sovereignty. The world can be very peaceful, can be very democratic, but without the economic progress, economic development, it is the same. It is only creating the risk to violence, to conflicts. We don't, in a very diplomatic and positive way, we would say, hope that Australia can come to sit together with us. But I don't believe. I'm skeptical in this, because I was skeptical during 24 years, and we said, if we need to die to get independence, we will die, and we did. Now, I don't say we need to die, but if we have to fight, we have to fight for our full sovereignty. The only way is the delimitation of the border, maritime border. I say that because, as Prime Minister already mentioned, the border between us and Australia is only 5% of the border of Australia. And Australia already signed it with all the neighbors, the maritime border. Only with us. 2 months before being independent, they withdrew. Only for the maritime border. It means something. It means something. At least means bad faith. At least means not sentiment of compassion. Means something very different than compassion. We are here. We are talking about this. I remember I went to Democratic Republic of Congo. They are richer than us. They are with problems. Richer and richer than us, with problems. I went to Central African Republic also, richer and richer than us. There are problems there. I talked to the factions, to the belligerent factions, and they said, the root causes is this. Is their diamond? Is their resources? I believe that all of you know more than me the problems in the world. If there are some conflicts or difference, the cause is because something more than the simple delimitation of a line or a border. That is why we are here. We are here, as the Prime Minister said in his speech, we hope that you can offer us also your ideas. Sometimes, maybe because it is emotional, we don't get a calm way of thinking. And we hope that your participation here, ladies and gentlemen, can help us to think together. Because for us, it is important. Sometimes we talk about sustainabilities. Sometimes we talk about how in the future we are not playing too much a role in the international community. We are not ambitious to be like something that can take decisions. But we are helping. We are helping another 19 countries, fragile, in conflict or post-conflict. And in many of these countries, there are resources. And the resources are also the cause of internal conflicts or conflicts with others. We would not say that we will go to, no, we will avoid. We are against war now. We are against war. Whoever does war, whoever promotes war, we are against. But in this conflict of interest, yes, we will fight for our right. Yes, you are right, Shirley. As I said, we are 13 years old. We just entered in teenager. I saw many countries with 40 years old, 60, 70 years old, and I have to be, I don't say proud, but I have to say, we are different. I have to say, with all the difficulties, with all the problems that we face, we are going in the right direction. And as I said, the big feature of the Timorese is, after a few years, we look back and we try to understand. If you don't understand the many links there, how they write, it is very difficult to a young country to understand that you are being lied. They are taking advantage of you. I say that because in many contacts with other countries in Africa, when we just tell them our experience, they said, "Oh yes, it happens to us." Look, it happens to us. Yes, Australia said they're very generous. Because we try to understand better how we manage the state. We saw that many companies were not paying taxes. Multinational companies. And we told them, please pay taxes. They put the cases in our court, knowing that our court is also very weak. But in the same time, they put the case in the arbitration in Singapore. When we were in the arbitration, an Australian minister wrote a letter to ConocoPhillips, one of the oil companies, saying that they have the exclusive jurisdiction on pipeline. Now the problem is exclusive jurisdiction. It was a big fight. It was a big lesson for us as a very young country. Now, Australia, and we have to say, by the agreement, if there is a difference, the two countries, the two governments must talk to each other. They immediately send a letter to ConocoPhillips during the arbitration, saying that, just tell the panel that we have the exclusive jurisdiction. Now, back to Charles' comment. Yes, Charles. They say they have exclusive jurisdiction. But we could not understand this before. Now we understand. We say, if you have exclusive jurisdiction on the pipeline from the platform, how can we pay the decommission cost? And there are several hundred millions. All of this, of course, nobody can demand to us in 2000, 2001, 2002, and 2006 to be aware or to know how to interpret all the agreements. If I can say, okay, we did mistakes, but now we are looking at this, you said, yes, but now we try to understand the agreement and say, oh, you are doing all, you are also doing this. They said that the provision doesn't allow us to raise the question in international fora or in international institutions. Just to avoid this, they withdrew from ICG for Anglos, only on maritime. I have to say, yeah, we raised the question, we put the question but before I told Julie Gillard was Prime Minister. We asked her to sit. We can sit to talk. We didn't want to raise the issue like, no, but they didn't want. Because they didn't want, we opted for the right way for us. After that, they seized the document, they gave back. During 18 months, we were playing games like the kids, meeting each other. Okay, oh, see you tomorrow. Yeah, okay. That is why it makes me more skeptical if I say that when we deal with Australian government, whatever the government, because I believe that it is international interest, whichever the government. Thank you, Ian Martin, for reminding us about the conference held here, and when Australia was a little bit embarrassed because of its position. But yes, it is the first move that we are doing. Tell everybody that we need also your help. We need also your opinion. We from the government, we will continue to go through the mechanism necessary to defend our interest, but also the public opinion, especially in the USA, is very, very important. Xanana, you know well, you were part of this. Professor Nomchomsky, we are all here. We are hoping that we can provide you more material just to help us to raise awareness about, if we can say, injustice or unfairness. Thank you very much.